art is not something that is mechanical without a mind. It requires experience. AI is going to be doing all. My strength is knowing that I have a lot of weaknesses. My favorite exercise.
Yeah.
I don't exercise. It's the most important thing in this world. The person who I am today is because I never gave up on my vocation. There's no future in art.
Okay, thank you so much, Nassim, for accepting invite. Welcome to My Days podcast. How are you doing today?
I'm great, and thank you for having me. It's lovely to be here.
So, what was your first reaction when our team approached you for the podcast?
I was delighted. It's always nice to be, asked to come and talk about the things that you love to do. And art is what I love. So any chance I get to put myself out there, to let people know about art is something that I'll always take the opportunity to do.
So, it's not fair to ask that your journey has been inspired by many youths. So, what do you think, in one word, about your journey? What do you want to say?
In one word,
Yeah.
my journey. It's a difficult thing to do. To put in one word my journey. Wow, that's not an easy one. It's been enlightening.
Enlightening. That's something unique you have said. So, shall we start our segment number one?
Yes.
Okay. Our segment number one is knowing your persona. So, who is an art behind you, and what made you to be into this field where people like us, especially focus on being doctor, engineer, but you have tried to choose a career called, a passion called artist?
Yeah, it's a good question. I wanted to be an artist. Art runs in the family. So my mother is very artistic. My sister's very artistic. On my mother's side, we have a lot of artists in the
Wow.
family. We're very artistic on my mother's side. But funny enough, when I was young, my father, pushed me to do business. Because at the time, and still till today, in many cultures, parents tell their kids, you've got to study to be an engineer or to be an architect or to be a businessman or lawyer or doctor, things like this. It's unfortunate, but this is the
Reality.
the reality of things. But I did study business and I did get into marketing, and I spent many years in marketing. And during this time, I never gave up on my vocation, because even though I'm in advertising, which is my my employment role, art is my true vocation. That's what I live for. So I never gave up on it since I was a kid. I've always painted. When my friends would be playing football or Atari, I would be painting.
Society doesn't support this kind of passion. So much of trolls, so much of negative points. How did you come out from this kind of trollings or negative comments in the society?
Well, look, it's not. I don't want to necessarily say it's trolls. It's parents want the best for their children, and I can appreciate that. I have 3 kids.
MashaAllah.
And I tell each one of them, please, if you want to be artists, if you want to be singers, if you want to be dancers, if you want to be actors, whatever you want to be in the arts world, please consider it. Don't think for a second that I want you to be a doctor, an architect, or a lawyer, unless you want to be. But I want to give you the option to do that. Now, when I was younger, of course, people would tell me, there's no future in art. And to be honest, for 99.9% of the world, there is no future in art, because it is a very tough thing to do.
Exactly.
But if we were given the opportunity when we were young to study it or to practice it, then there would be a lot more artists and talented people today in this domain, because they were given the option to start nurturing that talent at a young age. You understand? So today when I visit lots of schools and I talk to the students there about art, and I always tell them, everybody is born, the first thing they do is draw. They draw before they even speak.
Yes.
But funny enough, as you get older, no, this creativity is beaten out of you, and then you go into the school system and you start to forget about drawing and you focus more on whatever they teach you. The fact is that if a parent or a teacher or somebody realizes that there is a certain talent there, in a child from when they're young, they need to nurture that. They need to say, okay, well, maybe chemistry and physics and
Bio.
mathematics and biology isn't what they need to be focusing on. They need to be focusing on this because they're going to be great at it. And today, for the younger generation, they're lucky. AI is going to be doing all of the
Oh my days.
all of the horrible jobs.
Exactly.
And the only thing that AI cannot do is art. Art in every form, because art is not something that is mechanical without a mind. It requires experience, your life experience. It requires passion. It requires the soul. It requires a lot of things that are purely human, and AI cannot do it. So the younger generation are lucky because eventually all of these monotonous, horrible jobs are going to be done by AI, and the only thing that AI can't do is arts in every form. True arts. Of course, an AI can create a song or but it's taking it from somewhere else.
Generations has a lots of things to learn and lots of things that change us because technology is really impacting these days. According to you, how is a social media for you been as a reality, or it help you to grow a lot?
Of course, it helped me to grow because today social media gives me a platform to showcase my art to the entire world. In the past, before social media, before the internet, the only option you had was to do exhibitions or to work with galleries.
Exactly.
Today, you don't need to do either exhibitions or galleries. Of course, it's good to do exhibitions and gallery and exhibit your art in galleries. There's no doubt, but the world can still see it. Now, it's always good to do exhibitions and put your art out there physically, so that the people can interact with it face to face, and that you as an artist can interact with them face to face. But in terms of helping you get exposure and selling your art, social media is everything.
Having said that, life is not complete without parents. Parents play a big vital role in our life.
Absolutely.
What did you learn from your mother and your father
Yeah.
that you still apply in your life and you want your kids to follow that?
Oh my God. The person who I am today is because of my mother and father. I mean, it's the parents' role to educate their children on how to live in society and to teach them morals and principles. From my father, I've learned to be a strong, willed person, to fight for what I believe in, to think before I say anything, to be a man in every meaning of the word. From my mother, I was taught love and compassion and beauty, and she's the artist, really. And she's the one who opened my eyes to the world of art from a very young age, because I would watch her draw and paint, and I would see the beautiful things that she'd create. And from that very young age, I started to get exposed to it. So everything I do now is because whatever it is that I do is because my father and mother taught me to do it.
MashaAllah. It's really been, I would really connect you because when I met you, the way we hugged, it feels like, something connectivity. What makes you a connectivity person towards the youth and the society?
Well, okay, so I believe in passing on knowledge. So I'm not the kind of person that would like to keep knowledge within me. On the contrary, if I've learned something and I've learned it the hard way, I would want to teach those around me so that they don't have to go through it. I have a lot of people messaging me on Instagram and social media, artists that want to become artists. And they share their art with me, and I give them feedback, even though I've never met them in my life. Just believe in connecting with people on a human level, wherever and whenever I can. It's the most important thing in this world. If you don't do that, then really, what's life worth living?
Trust me, and this is what I say, your generosity, your humbleness is what takes you towards the future, and this is what will definitely take you a part of your success.
Thank you.
Any regret do you have in your life that you missed out an opportunity, or you think that you could be a better artist in your life? Have you ever thought of?
I have no regrets in anything, because
Alhamdulillah.
every mistake I've ever made has only made me who I am today. So if you don't fall, you'll never learn. So you can't regret anything. And if you do, you're completely mistaken. There's a lot of opportunities out there for people. And the more positive you are, the more doors open. The more humble you are, the more doors open. I mean,
Being into the art industry, there are so many things that you need to be very careful of, because so much of experience is required. According to you, what had made you bigger, stronger into this career path or the passion path you follow?
so you have to, I mean, you love something, you have to do it well. You can't just say, I love art and therefore I want to be an artist. So you have to practice a lot. Never think that, okay, I'm there, ever. Every artist believes that they're horrible. Their work is just the worst. It's amazing. You always say, I could do much better. But that's what helps motivate you to do better.
Something great you have said. I really don't want to end the segment number one, but what to do? Less limit of time and less conversation, but that matters.
Yeah.
So before I end the segment number one, what's your strength and what's your weakness?
So many weaknesses. So many weaknesses. More weaknesses than strengths. I guess, if I want to think about it, I guess my strength is knowing that I have a lot of weaknesses. I try to better myself.
And what about your weakness? Anyone?
Being obsessive compulsive about things, maybe. Trying to make everything perfect. Sometimes perfection is stopping you from moving forward. Nobody's perfect, huh? Nobody's perfect.
With that note, you have seen Nissam's journey, your persona, and moving to our segment number two, which is this and that. So, do you think art has challenges these days, or it is easy to go with the flow?
Oh no, it's extremely challenging. It's very art is probably the most challenging thing. Something innovative, creating something new that nobody has seen before, is the most difficult thing that you can do. Of course, you can do that, but the most important thing is to stand out.
Exactly.
And the only way to stand out is by creating something that is new, exciting, different, and that's very difficult. Most of the time, as an artist, you spend your time thinking about what to paint versus painting it. So if I've spent 5-6 days in front of a white canvas just thinking about it, but then it might take me a day or 2 days or 5 hours or 3 hours to finish it. But thinking of what it is that you want to create is the most difficult part.
What do you think? Do you require education or you require an experience to be an artist?
So first of all, you require basic talent, the minimum talent. You have to have the creativity in you. So even if you have a great idea, if you don't execute it well, the story doesn't come out the way it should. So it's very important to have a basic talent, and then to know technically how to execute it to the best
version
possible. Yeah.
Do you think for all your artwork you do, the payment is really required, or you do just a passion purpose, or you just do a welcome for the mood swing?
So, I mean, number one, every artist needs to live. You need money to live. Right?
Exactly.
But the reason why you start painting is because you want to paint. You want to express yourself. You don't do it to sell. And the moment you do it to sell, you're not creative anymore.
Exactly the point.
So I paint to paint because I love it, and that's what I want to do. And if people like it, then they buy it.
Wow.
And that's how it works. But the moment you start painting because you want to sell is the moment that you really die as an artist.
Do you think, as you mentioned, AI, can it fade, eradicate art, or no?
No, there's decorative art. AI can do that. connection with experience. It's just purely decorative art. There's nothing to discuss in it. It just, has a nice look to it, but there's no artist behind it, right? That's expressing a certain feeling or making a statement about something, right? Technology can help artists. I mean, there's always room for AI to help in art, but not in fine art, not in art that has a specific story that it wants to tell.
Yeah,
You understand?
Yeah, that's what the emotions, the kind of you put your touch on the art, as you say, which AI
Absolutely.
cannot do. The emotions AI cannot bring it on.
No, because in the end, I mean, if I paint something, it's because there's something I want to express. There's experiences that I had, or a feeling that I've got, or something that I want people to react to. That's coming from me.
Yeah.
And I'm putting it on a canvas. Whereas in AI, you can tell it, draw for me this, it will draw for you that, But that's just creating images. It's not necessarily, coming from a human experience.
It's our ending, this and that, where you have seen us has shared so much of informative. At the end, we said it's your choice whether you take this expertise advices or you move to your path, because at the end we only wanted you to grow, because that's what Power of Positive is all about. With that, we'll move to our segment number 3, rapid fire, one of my favorite segments. So we're moving to our third segment, rapid fire. So Nassim, as I mentioned to you, you have to answer very fast, no more thinking, and just you have to say what comes in your mind. What's your favorite exercise?
My favorite exercise?
Yeah.
I don't exercise.
If you get a chance to change something in you, a skill, what do you want to change?
A skill? I would love to sing, but I have a horrible voice.
Oh my days. What was the first job?
First job? It was selling internet.
Really?
Yeah, back in like 1995, 1994.
Oh my days.
Selling internet when it first came out.
What's your favorite dessert?
Favorite dessert? Cheesecake Factory has this Oreo cheesecake.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Okay. What do you enjoy most at your house?
My kids.
What do you spend more on your time?
Painting.
That's good. Do you love to have expensive gift or customized gift?
Gifts?
Yeah.
I don't care for gifts. I don't care for material things much.
Any regret you have in your life?
None.
Any opportunity you missed?
Many.
Do you think society is improving?
I hope society is improving.
Any harsh word you heard from your close one which really broke your heart?
Never.
MashaAllah. Does people misunderstand about you?
Sometimes, because of my nature, I'm very aggressive in the way that I speak sometimes, and they think that I'm upset or mad, but I'm not. It's just the way I am.
Oh, that's something funny. If you be a CEO of your company, what advice you want to give to your employees?
What advice do I want to give to my employees?
Yeah.
If I'm a bad CEO, leave. Because you need a good CEO to run a company.
Any silly mistake you have done in your childhood which you believe, oh, that I have done and you got very nicely from your parents?
Oh my God, I've done so many horrible things when I was a kid, and I got beaten by my parents for it. I got spanked for it, definitely.
What is the advice to the youth if they watch this podcast?
If you feel that you have a talent and that you want to pursue it, don't listen to your parents, pursue it.
Have you Googled yourself?
Of course.
What did you Google?
I write my name to see how well I'm doing out there in the world. It's pretty good.
What was your first salary?
My first, again, when I was selling internet in Lebanon, when internet came out and you had to go sell, internet packages. It was called Siberia Internet back then.
What was your first salary that time?
God, I think like $500 or something.
Wow. What did you do with your first salary?
My first salary, I went and I bought a car and I made a first down payment on a car.
Wow. Do you enjoy cycling or you prefer to go for a drive?
I prefer to go for a drive.
Any moment you miss with your parents and you will say that, I wish I could have that moment back.
I've thought about that so many times, but no, I mean, I have no regrets. The moments that were are great, and you need to enjoy the moments that you have now.
Any one word that describe yourself in a positive note?
Positive note. Always hopeful.
MashaAllah. What's a cheat meal?
What's a cheat meal?
Yeah.
All cheat meals. I eat whatever I want. I don't care.
If you get a chance to change something in your journey of your path, anything you want to change?
To be honest with you, I would have loved to study art from a young age because it would have been easier for me now.
Wow. To be honest, Nissam, you have done a great at your rapid fire, and I don't want to give you any dare. But since you said that you love to sing and you're a bad singer, I would love to hear something, a song from your side.
Okay. Fly me to the moon, let me play amongst the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars.
So that's an amazing surprise hamper for you from
Wow.
Sweet Connection.
That is so sweet. Thank you.
That's all about your journey, and there's a special note for you from them. It's all gluten-free food. I think you will love it.
I love it.
It's all about persona's choice.
That's
So
it.
now we are moving to our last segment of the show. Don't want to end the segment today. It's an amazing to be over here, enjoying the conversation with Nissam, and trust me, I had a great time. But then what to do? We have to end the day with a beautiful note. So my last segment is, what's your khwahish, your wish? You want to get it fulfilled as soon as possible. And how was the experience with All My Days podcast?
You know, all we can hope for is that we have our good health.
Alhamdulillah.
That's really all we can hope for. To be healthy enough to do the things we want to do in our life. So I hope that everybody we love, everybody has their good health. That's all I can wish for.
And how was the experience?
Amazing. It was fun. It was fun. It was very laid back. We're having our tea, you're having your coffee. We're just chatting. It's nice.
So that's what I say. It's all about your conversation that matters. So with that note, any message you want to give to the youth before we end the podcast today?
Enjoy your youth, because one day you're going to get older.
Oh, that's so bad.
And
That's hard.
no,
Painful.
but I'm 50 years old now, but I feel like a kid inside. I feel like a child inside. So always be youthful. You're going to grow up. Don't let the world make you old. Stay youthful, stay young, stay creative, stay dreamy.
Alhamdulillah, with that note, I always say that life is all about turning point. Ups and downs is a part of life. But the most important is to have your parents with you on the floor, because they are the one who will be a support role of yours, and no one can replace them. Ask them those who don't have, because that's the bitter reality of life. With that note, I always say that grow your journey with positive note, because at the end, that's what you carry forward in your life. And I really had a great time. So it was an amazing. I pray that from my heart that you grow more, you shine like a star, and you just spread positivity.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much to be part of my
Thank
journey. And that note, it's me Muhammad and Nissam Nasr signing out. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bye.